Let's look at another way to create a histogram using Excel. First, the version of Excel I'm using, just click on Excel and then About Microsoft Excel, is Excel 2019. We see that Volume License 2019. If your version is different, you may have a totally different way of doing histograms, just a warning. So here's how we'd create a histogram. Several years ago, I asked one of my stats classes how many siblings they had, and these were the answers. So they varied from 1 to 5 siblings. So here's how we'd create a histogram based on these data. Let's highlight these data here and choose Insert and the histogram. Yeah, that says histogram, and we end up with a terrible histogram. Notice it goes from 1 to 2.3, 2.3 to 3.6. That's awful. I just want a histogram that has 1 sibling, 2 siblings, 3 siblings, 4 siblings, 5 siblings. I don't want something that goes from 1 to 2.3. That just looks bizarre. So we're going to cancel this. Let's get rid of this thing. And let's do this instead. So under Data, choose Data Analysis. Okay? And choose as your analysis tool histogram. And click OK. So your input range, well, we already have the input range. Okay, the input range is going to be, if you haven't already highlighted it, you just choose the data that you want to highlight, which we have done here. For the bin range, okay, let's go ahead and cancel this for a moment. The bin range is going to be the upper limits of the classes. So let's cancel. In other words, we want the bin range to have as upper limits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we want those to be our classes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those will be our upper limits of the classes. Now, when we do data and then data analysis, okay, histogram, okay, so we've got what we want here, A3 to A26. We've already highlighted those data. As for the bin range, let's highlight what we want here. We want this to be the bin range. So from 1 to 5, in other words, from B3 to B7. For the output range, you just choose any random cell to do it. I don't know, let's stick the output here, for example, and then click on Chart Output. And then notice what we get. We end up with a much better histogram. This is the kind of histogram we wanted. And we also get a frequency chart to boot.